dear students, today in this video I am going to teach you the first poem to a pair of Saruscranes written by Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh is an officer of Indian Administrative Service and he is a contemporary poet. His poems are published in a number of magazines. This poem is chosen from the book entitled The Village Poems. To a pair of Saruscrane is a beautiful and a heart-touching poem. The cranes are well known for its faithfulness and living togetherness. The Saruscrane pair is an eternal symbol of unconditional love, devotion and good fortune. In this poem, To a Pair of Saruscranes, the poet talks us about the grief of a female bird when its male partner has been killed by a hunter. Mahatma Gandhi says, the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. How are we human beings treating the birds and animals? The poet depicts here about the cruelness and the callousness of the bird killers. Let's read the poem. The male was shot as he knelt to pull the reluctant sun out from the rim of horizon. She flew crying as he was picked up hands and jaws, and a proud neck was humbled to lie like dirty linen in a coarse washing bag. She circled the sky in movements of grace over his disgraceful end. The killers went away and she returned to the death scene with the grief that inscribed its intensity in dots and pits, like the Morse code of bird sorrow transmitted to the air. With her beak, she kissed a few feathers, picked the ones that wind had not taken away, and sat to hatch the blood-stained feathers into a toddling chick. A wave of the seas she had never seen came to her from far away and carried her to him. She went away beyond Hume's words, beyond the legends and fables of human love. Now we can go to the detailed explanation of the poem. First stanza. The male was shot as he knelt to pull the reluctant sun out from the rim of the horizon. The male bird was joyfully flying in the sky along with its partner. He necked. Necked means stretched. Necked means stretched. Necked, stretched. It stretched its neck for what? To pull the reluctant sun out from the rim of the horizon. It is morning time. It was trying to pull the reluctant sun. Reluctant means hesitant. Reluctant, hesitant. The sun was not ready to come out of the rim of the horizon. So what was the bird was doing? The bird was trying to pull out the sun from the rim of the horizon. Rim means edge. Horizon. Horizon means the apparent line which separates sky and earth. Here the male was shot as he knelt to pull the reluctant sun out from the rim of the horizon. When the male bird was flying joyfully in the sky, a hunter shot it. Here in this poem, in this first stanza, the writer used a figure of speech to pull the reluctant sun out from the rim of the horizon. Figure of speech is hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech is used to express exaggerated ideas. Here in this line, a bird can't pull out the sun from the rim of the horizon. The bird felt the sun was reluctant. It was hesitant to come out. So it was trying to pull out the sun from out from the rim of the horizon. So here the poet used one exaggerated ideas. Figure of speech is hyperbole. Second stanza. She flew crying as he was picked up hands and jaws, and a proud neck was humbled to lie like a dirty linen in a coarse washing bag. In the second stanza, the poet wants to tell us the callousness or the cruelty of the bird killers. After the male bird shot down, the female bird was crying. It was flying in the sky helplessly. It couldn't do anything there. And the bird killers, they took this male bird's body by its hands and jaws and they threw it into the coarse washing bag. Coarse means rough. The bird hunters, they will use one bag to keep these animals and birds meat after their hunting. So that type bags are known as coarse washing bag. It is very rough. Okay. So they threw that male bird's body into the coarse washing bag. The neck of the sarus crane is a long one and it's a beautiful and it's a graceful one. It will raise its head and it will fly majestically in the sky. So our male bird, when it was flying majestically in the sky, that time the hunters came and they shot it. So the proud neck, after the death of this male bird, the proud neck was humbled to lie like a dirty linen in a coarse washing bag. After the death of that male bird, that majestic neck was humbled like, it was treated like a dirty linen in a coarse washing bag. In the last two lines, the poet brings one figure of speech, to lie like a dirty linen in a coarse washing bag. Figure of speech is simile. Simile is a figure of speech. He is used to describe, to compare two different things. Commonly in simile we are using two words like or as. Here the proud neck, the majestic neck of the male bird was treated like a dirty linen. Like a dirty linen in a coarse washing bag. So here figure of speech is simile. Third stanza. She circled the sky in movements of grace over his disgraceful end. The killers went away and she returned to the death scene with a grief that inscribed its intensity in dots and pits like Morse code of the bird's sorrow transmitted to the air. After the male birds shot down, she was circling in the sky. She was flying in the sky in the movements of grace. She saw helplessly the death scene of that male bird. She couldn't do anything. And she was flying in the sky in a graceful movement. The killers went away. They took the male bird's body and they went away. That time she returned to the death scene of its male partner with a grief that inscribed its intensity. She was completely heartbroken and she expresses her grief in crying in dots and pits like Morse code. Morse code means it's a symbolic language invented by F.B. Morse. Uses the combination of long and short sounds or light flashes to send messages, for sending messages. That is Morse code. Here the female bird, it is showing, it is expressing its grief, its maximum intensity in dots and pits like Morse code. Here in this line, in dots and pits like a Morse code of the bird's sorrow, the writer used a figure of speech. What is it? Simile. Because the crying of the female bird, it is compared to Morse code. It's a symbolic language. It is comparing to the Morse code. So here the figure of speech is simile. And in the first 2-3 lines, another figure of speech is there, is antithesis. And if this is in one or two lines, it will express the two opposite ideas. The bird was circling in the sky in its graceful movement over the disgraceful end. Two opposite ideas. So, not ideas, not opposite words. So, antithesis. Here the figure of speech is antithesis. She circled the sky in movements of grace over his disgraceful end. Now, let's go to the next stanza. The next stanza. With her beak, she kissed a few feathers, picked the ones that the wind had not taken away, and sat to hatch the blood-stained feathers into a toddling chick. She was sitting in the death scene of that male bird. With her beak, she kissed a few feathers. Male bird's feathers were there, and she kissed few feathers, picked the ones that wind had not taken away. In that grief, she took some feathers, picked some feathers which wind had not taken away, and sat to hatch the blood-stained feathers into a toddling chick. By this action, she was trying to bring back the life of that male bird. She sat to hatch the blood-stained feathers into a toddling chick. Toddling means unsteady steps, can't walk. And she was expressing her grief. And in this stanza, the poet tells us she was trying to bring back the life of that male partner, because she was in that intense grief. The stanza of the poem. A wave of the seas she had never seen came to her far away and carried her to him. She went away beyond hume's words, beyond the legends and fables of human love. In the last stanza of the poem, the poet says that a wave of the seas she had never seen in her life came to her and took her from here and carried her to him. Here, a wave of the seas means the intense grief which she had never felt in her life. And that intense grief, that intense sadness took her from here in this world. The female bird too died. And it carried her to him. She went away beyond the Hume's words. Hume's words, Hume, he had written in one of his book, The Games Birds of India. In that book, he has written about the relationship, the intense love between two birds. And here the poet Manmohan Singh says that her love towards this male bird, it was beyond Hume's words, beyond the legends who had written these love stories and the fables of human love. Fables means stories. Fables. Stories. And her love towards that male bird, it was beyond Hume's words, beyond the legends and fables of human love. So in this poem, you have learned the intense love between two birds, a pair of Sarus cranes. Hope you understood, and next class we can see you next.